What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I am one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Master Chief in the streets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, mate. Happy Friday. How are things on your side?
Good. I'm glad it's Friday. It's been a long week. I'll be honest with you. When I got to the end of work on Thursday, part of me was like, this would have been a great Friday. I've already clocked off this week. So yeah, coming to work Friday, I feel like coming into work today, everybody felt the same way. So it was just a real nice chill day. You know what I mean? We went out, we did the mundane job. Saturday. Yeah, it was great. It was real good. It was real good. It was one of those things where it was like, I said to someone at work, I was like, man, yesterday really felt like Friday. And he's like, God, I hope it wasn't Friday because I've wasted half my Saturday here if that's the case. I'm like, mate, don't worry. You've still got 2 days. It's going to be great. But no, happy the week's done. Happy that the weekend is ahead. Going to catch up on some gaming. Jump back into Sea of Thieves. Very keen to jump back into Sea of Thieves.
Oh, excited.
Mate, I feel like there's going to be a podcast episode dedicated to Sea of Thieves very soon. Just going over the journey we've had and what a journey on us. I think it's crazy. Like normally when I streams last a couple of hours. If I'm really vibing with the game, we might go for 4. We streamed for 7 hours last Saturday. Just 7 hours. We went till 4:30 in the morning. It was insane. I wasn't expecting it to grab me as much as it did. Honestly, I was wrapped up and having the best time. So.
The stream really ended because it was 4:30. You know, like if we
That's
started
it.
early.
Oh my god, it would have kept going. That's the scary thing. It was the fact that someone said, "Have you guys seen the time?" That's what ended the stream. Because yeah, we got stuck on that tall tale, and then only got $8,000 for it. And we did the calculations, and it turns out we got 1,000. We got 1,000 gold for every hour we spent on that fucking quest. I swear to God, like absolutely mental. Good time though. Good fun. I had a great time. Can't wait to jump back in. Saturday, gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'll do a few shorter quests this time.
Yeah. If I see a tall tale, I'll take note of where I've seen it. I'm not hitting the start button. I'm not, unless it's like right at the start of the night. You know what I mean? If it's at the start of the night and the consensus of the group is let's do it, okay, we're jumping in. Otherwise, I will take note of where we are and we will just continue on. But yeah, I don't think I can take another tall tale that ends with the loss of just fried chicken that did absolutely nothing to deserve its fate. So I'm focusing on
chicken, we lost snakes, and we nearly lost friends.
I feel like the friendship the next day was a lot stronger. In the moment, with the snake murdering, chicken drowning, it was tense. It was tense on that ship. It was a tense time.
Jake messaged something the day after, which was along the lines of like, just check it in sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I responded with I'm alive. And I think we all just took it as like, oh, we're all pretty tired or whatever. But Jake was really asking, are we still friends? And the answer was yes.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like that was the question. That was the question. And I hope you noticed that I didn't message anything at all because I just wanted to see what the group was feeling in that moment. And then when everybody messaged, I was like, hey, had a great time. But my goodness, it's going to be one of those games where it's like, we'll have a mad session and then just not touch it for a week. I feel like jumping into this game night after night is going to kill the momentum for how much we've been enjoying it. I think a sesh every now and again is gonna find one.
If it was, I could do 2 nights a week, I think. But you're right. If it crept up, our enjoyment would go down. That's probably true of a lot of games, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Sea of Thieves in particular.
Honestly. And you know what? We're going to segue into the first thing I want to talk about. Another game coming out very soon that I feel like could be that game where it's like, hey, maybe we'll just have one session every now and again. Concord basically revealed that they've got early access and open beta dates. So they've dropped the dates for that. But you guys need not worry because I've got you guys covered with my pre-order, because when you pre-order, you get access for all your mates as well, because they know that there's no fucking way they're going to get 4 friends to pre-order this thing.
I love how quickly we were all just like, Carl will pre-order that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like, I got you guys. Oh man, I got you. But yeah, it looks like it's happening in July. July is when it's happening. I did have the dates here, but I lost them. But we've got like an early, so there's an early one, which is basically for the people that pre-ordered, and then there will be an open period, I believe, the week after. So yeah.
The game comes out in
August.
August, right?
Yeah, 23rd of August.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the Concord beta will feature access to 4 of the game's maps, with a 5th one being introduced during the open beta weekend. So we're getting access to 5 maps over the course of the 2 weekends. It will contain 3 game modes, and players will be able to try out all of the 16 launch characters. So they're not really keeping anything back. They want everybody to jump in and be able to experience the full suite of characters, abilities, and how the game's going to play. We're also going to get a look at the game's very first cinematic vignette, which will introduce players to the world and the North Star's crew.
This is very much one of those betas where I'm sure they'll learn from it and improve the game from it, but it's very much a marketing thing, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people that have played it have come to the consensus that that Concord isn't Sony's version of Overwatch. It's lots of fun, and a lot of people are saying that this could, they don't know if it will, but it could reach the Helldivers 2 level of phenomenon. Like it could reach that level, but really it's all going to depend on. See, the thing is, Helldivers is one of those games that I feel hit at the right time. Concord will need to hit at the right time. You know what I mean? Like Helldivers sort of was coming in as a fresh experience for people in a real dead time. Whereas after summer games that we've just got, we're literally getting Concord diving into gaming season. You know what I mean? We're going to have Star Wars Outlaws. We're going to have a whole bunch of games for people to sort of like jump into and cut their teeth on. So I'm hoping Concord can get a bit of a player base because I don't want the game to fail. Well, we'll see. After the beta, I'll decide whether I want it to fail or not. But yeah, I don't going in. I don't want it to fail. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm here for. I don't want it to fail. But yeah, it looks like it could be. I think it's the. Jesus Christ! I had the dates and I've lost them. But I think it's like the second week of July is the first weekend, and then that weekend following is the open weekend. But yeah, keen. Very keen.
I'm keen. There we go.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm keen, and I will have those codes.
Is it beta on PC as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's on PC and PlayStation. But I will hang on. I can actually double check. There's an open beta phase where anyone on PS5 or PC can download and try it out, with crossplay enabled between both platforms for open beta.
The first weekend might be PlayStation only. Is that?
I would say I don't want to say that because I feel like if you have pre-ordered on PC, there's no reason they should lock you the fuck out of the pre-order.
Oh,
weekend.
Okay, yeah, but you got to pre-order it for weekend.
Yeah,
okay, no,
weekend one is like the pre-order guys. Weekend 2 will be open to everybody, and I feel like weekend 2 is where we're going to see if the game has legs or not. Because I feel like weekend 1 is great, you know, everybody who pre-orders in, but the people pre-ordering are people that are clearly either excited or want to go to Twitter and trash it. So I think when it's open and you're going to get a lot of those people that are like, I'll give it a go, that's when you're going to see whether or not the game's got real legs. That's when you're going to see people's real opinions, which I look forward to seeing. And we will have some, so look forward to that. Oh, mate, this next little news story is pretty selfish, but I have to bring it up because it's actually insane that I feel like me and Jake were literally talking about this like not a couple of days ago, and literally like less than 12 hours ago, Aspire basically came out and were like, hey guys, we just did the Tomb Raider trilogy. We've remastered that. It's great. We've just done like a whole bunch of Star Wars games. Well, guess what? Now we're remastering and enhancing Star Wars Bounty Hunter. So Star Wars Bounty Hunter, for people that don't know, is a game that came out on the PS2 and GameCube. It's like came out in like 2003 or 2002. And they're bringing it. They're bringing it to PS5, PS4, Xbox X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And surprisingly, this is the thing that shocks me. As someone that went and spent $100 and whatever on the PS4 version of this. So basically, they released it with no enhancements. That's already happened. Like you can get it on these like platforms, but it's like not a PS5, PS4 version. It's just out on the PS4 and out on the Xbox. I sprung for the limited run collector's edition. I have all of them. They're great. I love them. But they're actually not only enhancing the game, they're actually adding new things to it. So you'll be able to play as Boba Fett. in this game, which I think is very cool. They're adding some extra skins and stuff like that. And it's only going to cost $30 Australian, which feels fucking unheard of in this country. Like, that's the sort of thing I would see. Like, oh, it's going to cost you 30 American dollars, and then you get to Australia and it's like 60 bucks. So the fact that it looks like it's going to be 30 is like great. Like, that's really cool. I like it a lot. But yeah, there's an article up on Press Start. Hang on a second. They had some really good information.
Can I shock you?
Yes.
I just googled it to make sure. Like, I'm pretty sure I played this game.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Like, it's been a while. I'm not sure how much I would remember, to be honest. But
oh mate,
a lot of fun.
You know what? This week, normally, I put Master Chief over your camera. This week, I'm gonna randomly change it to Jango Fett. You've earned it. You've earned the Star Wars screenshot, mate. Good on you.
I appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, here we go.
Fan, I really like it.
Oh, mate, we appreciate you. We Star Wars fans appreciate you. Bounty Hunter's modern release bring visual enhancements such as improved environmental textures, new dynamic lighting features and effects, giving players a new flashlight tool for navigating dark places, dual sense features in the PS5 version of the game, and more. As a special treat, players will be able to unlock a new Boba Fett skin on completing the game and use it for subsequent playthroughs, a feature that was actually teased in the original version of the game, but was never actually implemented at the time, giving this a bit of payoff for people who spent the time to get 100% in the original and got nothing. Very cool. I'm excited. I enjoyed this game back in the day. I don't think it's canon anymore because it's actually like an important story for like how we get to certain places in episode 2, because it's set before Attack of the Clones. Hopefully this little re-release means that, hey, maybe there's a chance that this story could be canon again soon. So that'd be nice for us Star Wars fans. But yeah, I didn't want to go a week without mentioning Star Wars Bounty Hunter is getting it's getting an enhancement, and I'm gonna have to buy it again. I don't know how they've got me to buy this game like 4 fucking times, and that's just in the last couple of years. Like, I know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it, but good on them, you know? Milk me dry. Now, before we move on to the topic of the show, we also have some. So this is news that has now been confirmed, even though it was leaked and we knew. So basically, the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, basically confirmed that Ubisoft has not one, not two, but multiple Assassin's Creed remakes in the works at the moment. So there is an article up on Press Start. I will read it and then we will talk about it because
hold my horses, mate. I need to stop playing these games. Holding my pirate ship.
Okay. In an interview with the CEO Yves Guillemot conducted by Lucy O'Brien and published to its own website, Ubisoft has confirmed that it has got more than one Assassin's Creed remake in the works. Guillemot told O'Brien, who was asked about the company's approach to new Assassin's Creed releases will be going forward, that players should be excited about some remakes, noting that there are worlds in other titles that are still rich and worth re-exploring and modernizing. It's a small nod to some future possibilities, but exciting nonetheless for old Assassin's Creed fans, and potentially lines up with earlier rumors of a remake of the much loved Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Throughout the rest of the interview, Guillemot also speaks to things like Ubisoft's handle of the games as a service market, in-house engines, and the state of the industry. I should watch this interview. The CEO also manages to get out some last-minute advocacy for the use of generative AI in game development, which is a very games CEO thing to do. Don't do that. There's a link to read the full interview. But here is the big Assassin's Creed question. On the Assassin's Creed front, we've had Mirage, which was a linear homage to the series roots, and now Shadows, which is a much larger in scope and more in the vein of Odyssey Valhalla. Looking at the future, can we expect this continued variety, smaller games alongside bigger ones? Eve replies, firstly, quote, players can be excited about some remakes, which will allow us to revisit some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them. There are worlds in some of our older Assassin's Creed games that are still extremely rich. Secondly, to answer your your question, there will be plenty of experienced variety. The goal is to have Assassin's Creed games come out more regularly and not for it to be the same experience every year. There are a lot of good things to come, including Assassin's Creed Hexe, which we've announced, which is going to be a very different game from Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're going to surprise people, I think. Jack, thoughts, opinions, anger, frustration, happiness, erection, talk to me.
It's like that mixed bag where it's like, a franchise this old, they've got to try stuff. You know what I mean? So we shouldn't diss them for trying things. And if some games are bigger experiences, some are smaller, some games go back to the roots. Occasionally we get a game that mixes things up. I don't think that's a terrible thing. Releasing games more often, I feel like that needed more context because, if we're releasing games more often because we're doing a couple of smaller games and a big one, I get it makes logical sense, right? But if we're releasing them more often because, we're just re-gearing the whole publisher and every developer we've got to pump them out, I don't think that's the answer. Remakes, probably at the point where a couple of Assassin's Creed remakes make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they should just stick to the earlier stuff for the moment. Assassin's Creed 1, maybe 2, Brotherhood, and I'm blanking on the other one. Assassin's Creed 4, of course. I just don't think we need to go much further than that at the moment. I feel like you could go back and play Unity and stuff, and it's fine enough. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'd hate to be. I just don't think we're ready for let's remake every single Assassin's Creed. Just you know what I mean? I don't know. We don't want to flood the whole market in a sense. But you're the one that would probably replay them all. So where's your thoughts at?
My thoughts are we're about to enter a situation very akin to what's going on with World of Warcraft right now. So World of Warcraft has got this thing going on where you'll get a new expansion, and then the next year you will get an expansion for World of Warcraft Classic. I can see us getting into a bit of a situation where we get a brand new Assassin's Creed experience, like Shadows, and then the next year you might get a smaller experience, like Mirage, done by a different studio, and then I can see you getting a year where you get a remake of an older game.
It's not terrible though.
It's not terrible.
If you get, a big one, you get a small one, you get a remake.
He needs to clarify the comment about we're hoping to release more Assassin's Creed games more often. We need clarification on that. I don't want 4 Assassin's Creed games in 1 year. No one wants that. There is such thing as oversaturation, and I already feel like we're at that point with Assassin's Creed. That Assassin's Creed 10-year anniversary thing gave me a fucking aneurysm. No, 15-year anniversary thing gave me a fucking aneurysm. There's so much that they want to do and so much that they've got planned, but I'm still of the opinion that nothing's truly landed yet. You know what I mean? Mirage is I still haven't played Mirage, and it's not for lack of wanting to play Mirage, but I've been there day one for every Assassin's Creed game. I picked Mirage up day one, I did my unboxing of the collector's edition. Go check out the video on YouTube. I'm there, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go, but I don't know. There's just nothing compelling me to do it. I guess I held off because I wanted to play through everything first, which was my goal. Let's play through everything again and then we'll play Mirage, which is still my goal. But now it's let's play through everything again, including Mirage before Shadows. So that'll be fun. Look, I think if they're going to do the remake thing, they need to do it properly. I think if they're planning on doing multiple of these things, they should do them in order. I don't want a Black Flag remake and then an Assassin's Creed 1 remake and then a fucking Assassin's Creed Revelations remake. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to do it, you do them in order and you do them in chronological order. You don't fuck around. You do them in the order they came out, one first.
I'm just going to pick Black Flag because that's the game I'm most familiar with. But do you want the remake to be just, new graphics, faster loading, that sort of thing? Or do you want it to be we've re-engineered the world where you can just dock your ship without a loading screen. You can just drive straight up to port. A few improvements that are actually mechanical and, change the experience of the game a little bit.
I think it has to. Otherwise, you've literally, I can go play. Well, I'm literally doing it right now. I'm playing Black Flag on stream on a PS5. You know what I mean? What does this remake do that I can't already? What can you bring to me that is a big enough change to the experience? I'm this is going to sound blasphemous, but for certain Assassin's Creed games, I'm down for them completely changing the formula altogether. Like, Black Flag is notorious for the fact that it is 90% fucking tailing missions. Mix up the mission structure. Give me something new. Give me something else, you know? Like, go back and look at that tech demo you showed. How densely populated these areas were. How Edward interacted with the environment. You have the technology now. Make that a reality. Give me that experience that you promised. Like, Ubisoft's notorious for having these great tech demos. Watch Dogs. And then the game comes out and it falls flat on its face. Go back, look at what you promised with Black Flag. Well, you kind of delivered, but look at what you wanted Black Flag to be, and now you can execute that. Change mission structure. Don't change story. Don't change characters. You know what I mean? Just change how the game plays, not how the game feels, if that makes sense.
Oh, I very much agree. The mission structure of that game was very repetitive and not in a good way. You know, so I found some of it challenging, but that's probably a me problem, not a game problem. But yeah, and then there's opportunity to up the tech, like you're saying, up the density, up the way the world acts. You know, get rid of loading screens, allow the ships to just run straight into port. Yeah, no, some good opportunities there. I think a proper remake in that sense would go the fuck off.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one, like, I have a question in a second, but like, I think the one that 100% benefits from the remake treatment will be Assassin's Creed 1, and I don't think it should be anything like the original. The movement needs to be different. Missions need to be completely different. I want proper missions. It needs to
feel like every sequel after it, basically.
Yeah, honestly, because like, you go back to the original Assassin's Creed, and I've written a review. It'll probably go up eventually because I'm playing through these Assassin's Creed games again. I still have a good time with 1. Like, 1's clunky as hell. It's repetitive as hell.
It deserves the remake, though.
It really does. But there's something about 1 that like, it's the one that got me in. You know what I mean? It's the one that got a lot of people in. If 1 didn't get people in, there wouldn't be a 2. So I think really going back, really giving 1 like the treatment it deserves, make it beautiful, make it pretty, make it feel good, change the missions up, make the combat like just that much better. Yeah, like, I have thoughts on what they could do with 1. Maybe that could be an episode one day where we just talk about what 1 needs. But yeah, 1 would definitely benefit. But my question is, out of all of the Assassin's Creed games, right, and taking 1 out and taking Black Flag out, because clearly those two are like at the forefront of getting remakes, what game in the series do you think needs a remake?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I feel like Rogue really got fucked. You know, I feel like it might deserve it. But I don't really know. I mean, the Brotherhood #2 and Revelations. I mean, if they package that together as some sort of like trilogy as well in the remake, I feel like they would like. I don't want to say like that was peak Assassin's Creed, because I feel like Black Flag you could argue was as well. But those 3 games were really a moment, you know, and they captured. I know 1 got everyone in the door, but those 3 cemented this series. So I feel like they nearly need to be remade together. That's just a personal opinion. That might be a bit much to chew off, though. I'm not totally sure. I don't know. Like, I think anything after Black Flag, like, yeah, a remake of, you know, Unity or Syndicate, I'm sure that'd be great, but they're not old enough, I don't think, to worth going to that trouble. But that's personal view. I'd be more interested to hear your thoughts if 1 and 4 are off the table.
I think they need to remake Odyssey and just make it better and not as shit as it was. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly,
that's a fair point, but I feel like you'd have to reduce that game more than anything.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Liberation, that's the one. That probably deserves a little bit of love as well.
A Liberation, like a proper Liberation remake, would be really good. But I don't know. That's hard. Because Liberation's not bad. Liberation's very good. It serves its purpose. It's great. I think people are going to be like, you're stupid. But I don't care. I'm a dumb guy. I would fuck with a remake of 3. And I think that's because 3, when it came out, was kind of panned a little bit, and people didn't really like Connor. And is Connor a moody little bitch? Absolutely. I cannot disagree. Connor is a moody little man, and he needs cheer the fuck up. But I think if you remade 3 now and really went in there and made, like, 3 has that really awesome, like, it was where you first were able to, like, climb through trees, and we had snow at one point and all that sort of stuff. I think with the power of like modern day consoles and stuff, you could really fucking go ham with the weather in that game. Because when I think of like Valhalla, sure, with snow and everything like that, yeah, it's really cool. But like Assassin's Creed 3, like there's just something about the environment in that game that really draws you in. I think Connor is an interesting character that deserves a bit more. I'd love to see if they remade the game. I'd love them to add like a bonus sequence at the end and just give us an ending to Connor's story, because there's like he's one of the assassins that's never truly had any media after his game,
right?
Which is a fucking
Did
travesty.
Black Flag come out a year later?
Black Flag came out
2013, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like 3 was 2011 maybe.
Googling. No, it's 2012. Yeah, so
it was
a year
2012. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, Revelations was 11. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It started coming out like year after, because like Revelations and Assassin's Creed 3 feel so far apart. Like they really feel far apart, but they're just not. They're just really not. Black Flag was a year after. That's mental.
Like Revelation was like such a bookend to something. You know, not just the story of that game, but also just I think what, you know, that was a moment for Assassin's Creed. Like that's another moment where it changed, and then yeah. Anyway, that's fair answer. 3 deserves a little bit more love. Package Liberation in there, please.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. All right, mate. Let's talk 2024. Okay, because we've just had Summer Games. We've got a lot, like, honestly, Summer Games was a lot of games that are coming out this year, and I was surprised by that. But no one's really talking about them. We're talking about the Dooms, the Gears, all these big games coming out in the near future, the Fables, and I'm just listing Xbox stuff right now because they've really showed stuff that's far out. But there's a lot of really good games still coming this year, and I just wanted to shine the light on a few of them and talk about them, you know. Maybe get hyped about a few, see where you're at with some of these. Are you going to play them? Are you not? Can I convince you to play some? You know what I mean? That's where we're really at. But man, I feel like I would be stupid if we didn't talk about what could possibly be the game of the year. And that's Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. We out with this game. It's a crazy little game. I'm keen to like jump in and you know, have some fun, but a part of me, now I've been thinking a lot about this because it's like, hey, this is like a full price game. There's like an edition and everything like that. I feel like this would have like lived so much better as like a part of Nintendo Switch Online. Like I think back to like Tetris 99 and then Mario 99. They have those like little games that they chuck in there and then take away. But if you would suddenly be like, hey, as included with Nintendo Online, we're never taking this away, you'll get access to Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. You know what I mean? And then maybe somewhere down the line being like, hey, if you don't want to pay for a membership anymore, you can now pick this game up on the store for $30. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that, because I'm glad this exists. I'm happy this exists, but I feel like with everything coming out towards the end of the year and everything going on, I feel like it might not hit. I hope it does, but like, yeah, it's gonna hit with certain people. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're like 16, 15 and you've seen this, you don't care. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like our generation of people plus people above us that are going to look at this and go, I would mess with that. You know what I mean? I want to play the original Legend of Zelda. I want to play Donkey Kong, Metroid. I want to speedrun this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Fingers crossed. Here's hoping. But yeah.
I think it's awesome that it exists. But yeah, it's very, very targeted. And I agree. Nintendo Online is where this thing should have lived, at least to begin with.
I agree.
I think that was a bit more hype. Whereas, and maybe this is a me problem, but sometimes with these sorts of games, they come out and like you buy a copy, but it's sort of, you know, you don't necessarily put it in the console quick enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But cool that it exists, and it's coming out soon, I think.
Yeah, July 18th. Very exciting. Very exciting time. Very exciting time. All right, mate. This is one I know you're never going to touch, never going to play, but I feel like if I didn't talk about it, gamers would come for me. Black Myth Wukong, coming August 20th to PS5 and PC. What do you? This is the monkey game. So this is the game that's basically a Souls type game that is basically telling the story of Chinese mythology, and basically he's Goku. It's basically Journey to the West. He is Goku, and he is very cool, and the whole game looks very cool. But I don't know if I can play another Souls game. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many of them, and I look at this one, and I'm like, this could be the one that does it, though. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are obsessed with Elden Ring right now. Will Kyle become obsessed with Black Myth Wukong? Probably not, but he wants to try.
I'm not a Souls person, but I do love the concept and the story, and I might be ignorant saying this, but like, I feel like we don't get enough games set in China, so
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Might be an interesting one.
I'm excited.
I really got no idea about the game.
That's super fair. I look at Black Myth and I'm like, this might be a stream game for me. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll just get it, play it on stream, see how people vibe with it.
A lot of people are keen about it. I don't think it's gonna flop or anything.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's gonna do surprisingly well. I think this game is gonna exceed expectations. Whether or not those expectations are met by me is another thing. You know what I mean? Like Souls games are following such a formula right now, where it's like, hey, the storytelling is told in the world. You know what I mean? But everybody knows the story of Journey to the West. So I feel like it would be really great if you just told us the story through not just gameplay, but really cool cutscenes, because my goodness, does this game look freaking gorgeous. And if I don't get those CG cutscenes, it's just going to kill me inside. Oh, mate. Concord, August 23rd. We've spoken a little bit about this. I think we'll jump in the beta and we'll decide whether or not it's something we want to mess with. Yeah.
It's just the sort of game that's hard to fit into the calendar because there's so many games that are similar that we would like to play.
And we've got so many on our plate right now. That's crazy.
I don't know which game. Like, I really want to get back to like the finals and Helldivers, and I know those games aren't exactly like Concord, but it's like, I don't want to delay getting back to the finals for that game based on what I've seen, you know. But let's play the beta. It's only, you know, if you're paying for the pre-order, I'll show up for the weekend and we'll see if it's any good. But it's like, if I've got a spare night, like, there's a few games already in queue, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, right now, Concord is like, here's the thing. We're at an all-you-can-eat buffet when it comes to, like, games that we play. Concord has just been put out on the tray, you know what I mean? I'm willing to put a little bit on my plate and try it. But is it something I'm going to come back to and put a bigger scoop on the plate? I don't know. You know what I mean? There's some big scoops on the plate right now, and there's a lot taking up a lot of surface area.
It's just like when you want to play Sea of Thieves, well, there's no pirate games on my plate. Yep. You know, like it's not like I'm consuming Skull and Bones all week. Yeah. I mean, I haven't played games in like 4 nights anyway, so there's nothing on my plate, I guess. And it already feels fucking full. But and like there was that other fucking shooter game at Summer Games Fest with the cards. Like the 5v5 with the... I can't remember what the game was called.
Frag Hero or something like that.
Yeah, something like sort of plainish, but not that plainish. You know, so it's like, I don't know if it's better than Concord, but it's like there's already a few things like, you know, on the radar. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, if Concord's amazing, like, we'll clear the plate, but let's see.
Very true. And then coming on the 29th of August is Visions of Mana. So very big sorries to my wife. It's her birthday, but Visions of Mana is out. You know what I mean? What am I going to do? I haven't played Visions of Mana. Nah, I'll probably have to play it on the 30th. But how can I, Jack? When on the 30th, Star Wars Outlaws comes out. I've got no time for all these games, Jack. I got no time. Oh, mate. I'm so keen, man. Something's got to give. But you know what's not going to give, mate? Outlaws. I will be jumping into that straight away. I'm very keen, very excited. Just excited for more Star Wars. You know what I mean? Star Wars, people aren't always going to agree, but I think Star Wars is good, and I enjoy lots of Star Wars. Even the Star Wars people don't enjoy. Sometimes I find enjoyment in them, and the stuff that they do enjoy, sometimes I think is a bit overrated. Cough and/or cough. I'm excited.
Like, I think the thing about Outlaws is like, Star Wars or not Star Wars, the game looks pretty decent.
It does. It looks really good. Like Like, even taking Star Wars out of it, you know what I mean? Taking that away,
Yeah.
just hearing the words GTA in space is kind of like, yeah, I'd fuck with that.
Yeah, and I think Ubisoft isn't. I'm sure there's still the Ubisoft DNA in this game. Do not fucking mistake me. That's a hard thing to rip out of Ubisoft. But it doesn't look like they've just cloned Far Cry. You know, like it does seem like it does seem to feel a bit different. You know, we'll have to wait and see to late August if that's true or not. But definitely worth having on the radar, I think.
Mate, I agree. Then September 4th, mate. Age of Mythology Retold, mate. Dust off the Game Pass. We're going in. I'm keen. I'm actually really keen to jump into this. Like, I'm genuinely excited. I think it looks pretty good.
This is gonna be one of the games that like gets 1 or 2 good sessions, and then it'll just get like a session every couple of months.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I wanted to play this game. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to play Age of Empires 4. I wanted to play a Halo Wars 2, and I just like I have not played StarCraft in months. But it's like, you know, like these games are great, but I just find myself, I don't know if it's my attention span's fucked. I don't know what it is, but I keep going back there. Stormgate's coming out 1 year.
That's coming out in August as well.
Maybe. You know, that game feels like it's been covered for so long. And it's like 1v1s are launching this year and 3v3s are launching next year.
Yeah, well, it's entering like early access in August. It's not fully releasing until like, and it's Stormgate's entering early access in August, and then it should be like fully releasing and be free to play by the end of next year.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's hard to complain about that, isn't it? Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, Age of Mythology, I think there'll be some fun to be had, you know, a couple of nights of 2v2s or something amongst the crew. Yeah, it's just going to be one of those games that I think it's not going to get the time we all want to give it. So I think it's just going to get crushed. Looks fucking cool, though. And it's on Game Pass, so it'll definitely remained installed on the computer.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, here's another game that I've been waiting a long time for, and it's finally coming. I heard this bloody Ultimate Collector's Edition on pre-order for so long, but Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is coming September 5th, and I'm keen to jump into that because, like, it looks just visually, it's very appealing, and I'm very interested to get in there and experience this game that has just sort of remained such a mystery and has just like every time I've seen it has looked better and better. So I'm excited to jump in and see what it's all about. But it's going to be really, really interesting to see if it's got staying power. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've been hearing about this game for so long. Is this a game that we're talking about a month after it comes out? You know what I mean? In the midst of gaming season, is Stalker going to come and whimper or have like lasting appeal? Will it come out and be like, boom, it's here, everyone plays it, enjoys it, a week later we move on? You know what I mean? Or are we going to be talking about Stalker like next year when it's like, oh man, I hope we get some Stalker DLC at the game showcase?
I think the multiplayer appears to be coming a little bit after launch, so that might give it the kick it needs to keep on trucking. Is it coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, I believe so.
Cool. Good to know.
Man, I'm keen. I'm bloody keen. But you know what I'm even more keen for?
What's that?
My boy Astrobot getting his own video game, his full-fledged platformer game on the 6th of September. It's not a VR game. It's not a pack-in game. It's a games game. He's a man. He's out of puberty. He's a man now. It's a gamer's game. Dude, this game looks amazing. I can't lie. Like, and everything we've heard about it, like the massive amounts of worlds, like PlayStation little cameos, just everything they've put into this game. It feels like this was the game that they were like, what does the community want? Let's actually listen. They listened. They took it on board. Now they're executing, and I'm very excited about it.
Well said.
Man, September's stacked. I'm looking at September. It's like September 5th, Stalker 2. September 6th, Astrobot. September 9th, a game that I feel like I might be able to trick you guys into playing. It just depends. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. If you would have told me that this game...
Count me in.
Hey?
Count me in.
Oh my God. I never thought I'd hear that. Dude, this game is insane. Like the original was great. It was like a single player, great time. kill a bunch of orcs. Great story, great Warhammer feeling game. This game feels like, hey, what if Warhammer just went full Call of Duty? But not in a like hey, it's a first person shooter live service sort of thing. It's like, hey, we've got the single player campaign, which you can now play with 2 other people. That's right, it's 3-player campaign. By the way, we're really pushing that 3-player thing. There's also a 3-player like additional auxiliary co-op mode where you can go in, you guys can level up your individual character, you can have like your own individual armor. Not only that, but there is PvP as well as the co-op. There's like a PvP mode where you can like
classic like Gears of War type,
yes,
like,
yeah,
amount of content, doesn't
it's mental. It's so good. And the PvP is like, hey, we're not just gonna be like Space Marining and Space Marine. It's like Ultramarines versus Blood Angels, or like it's like they're like going lore deep with this shit. And like you can go in and customize like individual pauldrons, individual weapons, individual helmets, backpacks. Like my knee can look different to yours, you know what I mean? Our helmets can look exactly the same except for a very distinct color of yellow on my freaking mask. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like, this is going to be my Gears of War game until Gears of War ED comes out, and I'm looking at it, and it just like visually it's gorgeous. Everything we've seen looks amazing. The gameplay looks fresh. The game, like, I'm glad they just haven't gone, hey, is Space Marine 2 is Space Marine 1 but prettier, you know what I mean? They could have easily just done another story with the orcs again, just fighting orcs, but no, it's like, hey, we're doing Space Marine 2. It's set like 100 years after the first game. You're not fighting orcs. You're Titus. You are like an Ultramarine. You know, you left the Ultramarines, but now you're back and you've been demoted basically down to a nobody again when you used to be king shit. So like you're going in, you're going to fight the Tyranids, you're going to go absolutely ham. And the Tyranids are like such a good swarm enemy. So it's like a great way to show off the power of the consoles. Like Space Marine 2 is like, everyone's like, oh, yo, this Gears of War game is going to be the one, like people are going to see this and they're going to be like, this is next gen. I think people aren't giving Space Marine 2 enough credit. I look at Space Marine 2, I look at gameplay, and I'm like, holy fuck, that is a next-gen game. So I'm really excited for Space Marine 2. Very, very excited.
It's coming to Game Pass as well, right?
I'm not sure. I feel like there's been a lot of chatter about that online. So then
the last one did. There's been a Warhammer something on Game Pass, I feel.
Yeah, dude, what's crazy is like Warhammer feels so niche, but there's so many fucking Warhammer games right now. So many. Like Total War Warhammer, just the random offshoot games. There's literally a kart racer coming out that's a Warhammer fucking kart racer. Like there's so much coming out and I'm here for it. But yeah, oh man, so excited. So excited. Then a game I'm probably gonna touch once. Do a funny video, do a funny stream, do a little review, put on the shelf, never look in again. Funko Fusion is coming out on the 13th of September.
That's a weird game.
I don't want it. You know what I mean? I don't want it. But I have to give it a chance. You know what I mean? Like I can't, I think Funkos are like the worst. Do I have them? Yeah, of course I do. I have some special ones that I want, you know what I mean? But these people that are like, hey, never watched Friends in my life, I'd like to pre-order every Friends Funko coming out on the 14th. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, dude, just chill. You don't need all the Funkos. It's my hobby. You know what? That's cool. I collect video games. You collect your Funkos. But we don't need a Funko video game. It just feels so, it's like Funko looked and they were like, what do Lego have that we don't? They have a really good selection of video games. Make it happen. How much money do you want to put into it? $20, the cost of a Funko. Oh, great, awesome. Looks budget as fuck.
To be fair though, the video game would probably be cheaper than buying 1 or 2 pop finals these days.
True. Yeah, true. We'll see. Continuing our Stack September is Disney's Epic Mini Rebrushed. I actually can't wait to jump back into this game. So this was a Wii game back in the day.
In a while, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was Warren Spector's game, who's famous for Deus Ex and stuff. I feel like this was a long time ago, right? This probably would have been around like 2010, 2011 as well, wouldn't it? Like, It's been a while.
I want to say 2011, but what's it called again? Epic Mickey.
Yeah, Epic Mickey. It was such a good game, like being able to paint the world and manipulate things with your paintbrush. I am super excited to jump back into this. It's been so long. And the fact that it's coming to PS5, Xbox, and Switch, it's like, modern controls, you know, modern feel, modern look.
And it's to do with modern controls, to be honest.
Yes, 100%.
It was 2010, but I think the copy entered our household in 2011, potentially.
Right.
Or Christmas, so it might have been that way. There we go.
I hope this does well, so we get like a remake of Epic Mickey 2, which could then probably lead to a third game. I hope this does really well, because those games are great, and I think people need to put some fucking respect on that.
A remake, honest, like as in, like I don't think you could just whip out a third right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think remake's a great idea. Great idea. Yeah. Dude, September is so stacked. So just putting this in perspective, on the 24th, we have Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which I'm going to have to play through the entire day and complete, get the platinum, move on. Because on the 25th, we're getting Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, another remake of a great game. Dude, Lollipop Chainsaw is so good. So taking away like the crazy name and the crazy thing, it's like a third-person Devil May Cry like action game where you play as like, so basically it's like you're a cheerleader and you basically like these zombies attack, your boyfriend gets infected, so in order to save your boyfriend you chop his head off and you like you attach him to your hip, so he's sort of like the guy that talks to you while you're doing your thing. And basically she comes from a family of like monster hunters and like that are known to fight vampires and zombies and shit. So basically she has mystical abilities, and she imbues these powers into her chainsaw, and she uses the chainsaw to take down the zombie horde in order to like get restore her boyfriend's body. It sounds really like crazy, but it's fun as fuck. It's awesome. She's a great character, and like, you know, cheerleader uniform and lollipop aside, it's a really fun time. Like really fun time.
Is this a remake of the 360 game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really good.
Fits in with the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh, dude, it's such good. It's like it gives that. It's the best way to put it is like it gives that Dead Rising feel. It really does. Like it really does. Yeah. It's done by like Grasshopper something. I forget the other name of the developers that do it, but they did stuff like Killer 7 and stuff like that. So they're known for doing like really weird stuff that actually, when you play it, is quite a good experience. It's like a great experience wrapped in a weird packaging, but that weird packaging is what like keeps you going. You know what I mean? Because like it can get repetitive after a few hours, but then when you've got like a cheerleader with a boyfriend on a hip and he's saying crazy shit and doing random stuff, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. That was the game of the achievement where if you looked up her skirt too long, you got an achievement worth 0 gamer score. That was like, we see what you're doing. Stop it.
Stamped it onto your account.
Yeah, legit. Gold. But that's another game that I'm going to have to play all in one night and get the platinum, because the next day, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom drops, and I am so fucking excited. I cannot. I'm very excited for this game. It's like literally shit we've been talking about. Like we talked about at the start of the year, as the Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda. The only problem with Echoes of Wisdom is it's not called The Legend of Zelda: The Missing Link. That was such a missed opportunity. I hope they do this again and they call it The Missing Link. It would have been freaking hilarious, and they would have been like, it's not a good name, no, but it's a funny name, and we'd have respected it. Really cool. Play as Zelda. Looks more puzzly than actiony, which I kind of like. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this. Is this a game you'll play at all, or just?
I don't know if I'll play it, but it does look sweet. I feel like my back catalogue on the Switch really does not afford me the opportunity to buy another game at the moment.
Yeah, that's but man, my back catalogue is a fucking library at this point. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild, so behind, mate.
Okay. Then we're going to we'll skip that game. Silent Hill 2 comes out on October 8th. Then Dragon Ball Sparking Zero drops on October 11th. Can't wait to drop into that one. Then we have Metaphor Refantasia. Sorry, I always get tongue tied in this game. Metaphor Refantasio, which is the game by the Persona guys. This is like their new sort of Persona-y game. I'm very excited to jump into that. I won't harp on it long, but all I need to say is this: if you've never played a Persona game, go play a Persona game. It's such a good fucking time. If you don't want to jump into a Persona game, wait for this one. It looks just as good. New Super Mario Party comes out on October 17th. The Jamboree game. That's going to end some friendships. Can't wait. And then a game. Oh, my goodness. That's a busy day for me. On October 25th, a game that's going to eat so much of our time. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Keen to jump in? Game Pass is really saving Black Ops for me this year because it's one of those things where it's like, man, there's a lot going on. I'm so glad I've got this Game Pass subscription where I can jump into this game. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about trying to find $150 for this game. You know what I mean? It's jump in and play.
Game Pass is amazing for a lot of reasons, but it's such a treat when something you would definitely buy anyway drops.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't actually feel like that happens enough.
No, it doesn't. But I have a feeling we're not going to be saying that in a year or two. You know what I mean? Like with all these, like they finally look like they're gearing up to release like Doom, Fable, all these big games that are going to be like, man, this is why I have Game Pass. So I'm hoping COD's just a start.
Yeah. Like it's going to be a real, like it's always good when you can find a game in Game Pass. Like Fable would be one of those games where I probably would buy it, don't get me wrong, but having never played Fable before, like it being in Game Pass is a brilliant treat. So definitely lots to look forward to. But yeah, Call of Duty is very value adding for sure.
Definitely. And on the same day, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, which is a Sonic Generations remake with a little bit of Shadow sprinkled in. Hashtag Year of Shadow. Can't wait for that game. Looks really good. On the 29th of October, we have Life is Strange Double Exposure. That's a game that I won't be playing on launch day, but I'm excited to play. You know what I mean? It's all going to depend. That's the sort of game where I feel like I can jump in at any point and just have a really good time with it. So I'm not rushing to play it. You know what I mean? On November 7th, we finally have the return, which is a weird thing to say because these fuckers are everywhere all the time. But we have a return to the Mario and Luigi franchise with Brothership, and I'm very excited for that. It's been a long time between dances, and I'm very excited. On November 12th, we have Avowed coming out. Very excited for that. Jump into that, have a good time. On November 1st, we have Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. And I feel like I'm going to be the only one in the group out of everyone we know playing it. So you guys give me 20 minutes and I'll have a great time and then I'll come back. On November 15th, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. Cannot wait for that. Very excited to jump into a game that is finally going to feudal Japan. Assassin's Creed. Love to see it. And then there are a couple of games that don't really have release dates, but are basically coming in 2024. Lego Horizon Adventures. Excited to see what they do with it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, fun name to say. Can't wait to jump into that. First one's an interesting time. Fantasia Neo Dimension. I think this is the guy that did. He did. Is Final Fantasy 9 or was it Final Fantasy 12? He did a Final Fantasy and people love it. And this was literally, so Fantasian was exclusive to Apple. It was an Apple exclusive for a long time, and now it's finally coming everywhere. So
the arcade or something?
Yeah, very excited. Like it was like built for like an iPad, so I'll be excited to see how it plays on a console. This might be a Switch game for me, to be honest. Be a good time. Apparently Dragon Age Veilguard's coming out this year. I fucking doubt it. A lot of people are saying Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake is coming out this year. Fucking doubt it. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Very excited. That'll be a December game. Looking forward to it. Man, I hope it's good.
Think that'll come out this year.
Yeah, I agree. And then Ease 10 Nordics. You ever heard of Ease before?
No, I'm not.
I'm not going to dive into Ease lore right now, everybody. That'll be a special episode when Jack's sick and I'm all alone. Look forward to it. The Ease special coming 2027. Yeah, Ease 10 might be coming out. Ease is a game where it's like 10's out if you're in Japan. If you're not in Japan, you got to wait like a year or 6 months sometimes. So I'm excited for the new Eves. Yeah, they do it to me, man. They've been doing it to me. Tales of the Shire. Looking forward to that one as a Lord of the Rings nerd. Batman Arkham Shadow can go suck one. Let me know when it comes to real consoles. Yeah, that's really it. like, it's such a stacked end of the year, and there's still so many games here without dates and stuff like that. But I'm keen. Looks great. Looks good. What about you? What like, out of everything we just sort of like went through, can you give me like top 3, number 1 that you're like super excited for, can't wait to jump into?
Honestly, like, I think Indiana Jones is really peaking for me. I mean, you know, obviously Call of Duty, you know, like, I play that every year mostly, but I think Indiana Jones is going to be a nice treat. It's weird. It's so weird because it's like, it's not a movie tying game, and I think, like, it's like Star Wars. Like, you don't really sit there and go, you don't really think about Star Wars as a licensed video game. And I don't know if Indiana Jones deserves that status, but it does feel like it's going to land there.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty keen to see how that goes. I think it's going to be a high quality game. So I think Indiana Jones is probably the game I'm jonesing for the most. Otherwise, there's mostly games I'm like sort of keen, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll like. I do really want to play Outlaws, but I feel like I probably need to do a bit more Star Wars research between now and then.
We'll get you there.
But you know, we're eating well this year. I don't think it's a bad year.
Really
I think next year is absolutely gonna fuck though. I think the problem with this year is it's gonna be forgotten to history because of next year. You know what I mean? So, you know, let's just enjoy this year while it's here, because we're not gonna ever think about it again.
I'm not gonna lie. After next year, I would be okay with a shit year. Just give us a year off. You know what I mean? Like, just give us a couple releases. We don't need bangers. Just like, oh man, I'm so tired. There's always good shit coming out. It's so hard to keep up. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But no, you're not wrong.
Well,
next year is going to be a fucking banger.
What are your sort of top 3? Where are you feeling?
Oh, I'm vibing with Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I really want that. I cannot express how excited I was when that game was announced, and I cannot give any more hype to that game. I cannot. I'm just so freaking excited. Another one I'm pretty excited for is Mario and Luigi Brothership. I don't know, man. There's always a good time when you have a Mario game, and getting another RPG game like hot off the heels of Super Mario RPG, considered the best Mario RPG game. Like, just to have another one, just to like vibe out to and have a good time to. Very exciting.
They knew what they were doing.
They did, and of course, how can I not talk about Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom? Like, it's basically what I wanted, and it's in that cute little art style we got for Link to the Past remake. So I'm glad that they didn't just make that art style a one and done. I'm glad we're getting it again, and in a way that makes sense. If this was the art style they keep for like the Legend of Zelda games where you play as Zelda going forward, I would fucking vibe with this art style so much. But yeah, those are the ones I'm like really excited for. But I mean, everything we sort of talked about is something that's like on the radar, which is like financially stressful.
Yeah, you're not fucking wrong.
It's
heaven forbid you want to pick up like a FIFA or something in between.
Oh, dude, I'll just wait for it to be a fucking $1 next year when the next one's coming out. You know what I mean? I'll go back to it. Yeah, dude. It's like times like this where like I look at Games Pass and I'm like, yeah, you're pretty all right, mate. You're pretty good. No, pretty stacked end of the year. Pretty stacked. I'm looking forward to talking about most of these games with you. Hopefully we can get to as many of them as we can, and then eventually talking about the stacked lineup for next year. But mate, I think that's going to do it from us this week. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. If you want to keep up to date with everything Jack and myself are doing, you can head over to oneupgames.com. That's where you'll find links to everything from the YouTube to the Discord to the Twitch streams and all that fun stuff. If you're on the YouTube right now and enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button. We really appreciate it. And it's free. It's crazy. You can do something for free and it'll make me and Jay giddy little gooses. And if you want to keep up to date with all the podcasts dropping and the cool content we've got going up on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button so you know exactly when the content's going live. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it from us this week. We will be back next week with another awesome podcast. But until then, may all of your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.